is the Fade 5 Podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bets, you jackwagons! Brad the Big Noise Evans here, joined by the good son, Nathaniel Lundy. 'Tis indeed another edition of the Fade 5. We got two scoops, double dip action on Monday Night Football tonight. We got the Packers and the G-Men going down in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And then we got the Titans going to South Beach to take on the Miami Dolphins. Unfortunately, these aren't really staggered across the Walt Disney channels that are out there, but we'll have a two-screen experience. And of course, we're gonna load myriad wagers to enhance the entertainment. So first off, let's hop aboard the Plus Bus, Lundy, whether on the doubleheader there and on Monday Night Football, or maybe in the NHL, maybe in college basketball. It's finals week, so not a whole lot of action there. Maybe on the pro hardwood. What is your favorite wager? Plus 100 odds or greater you're willing to fire off on?
Well, a couple of years ago, we used to like to pick on the Arizona Coyotes when it came to the National Hockey League, but the Yotes are actually playing a little better. This year's focus of our fading is, of course, the San Jose Sharks. But I digress. They don't play today. Only 4 games on the ice, but this one, the Yotes are on the road against the Buffalo Sabres, who thankfully have Tage Thompson back. One of the best young talent out there. Love watching that guy play. In fact, Buffalo is going to be here in Denver to take on Colorado on Wednesday, and I will be in attendance at that game because I really want to see the Sabres play in person. But Arizona, take them on the money line. They're road dogs here. It's plus 110 for them to just win outright against Buffalo. With what Arizona's been doing, Buffalo's only 5-7-1 at home, and they've actually lost 5 out of their last 6 games. Inexplicably, the one that Buffalo managed to win was at Boston. They beat them 3-1. But other than that, Buffalo has been in a tailspin outside of that one game that apparently they decided to step up and play pretty well against Boston. So if you look at last season, these two teams played twice, obviously East-West conference type thing. You only play each other a couple of times. And both times, the team won on the other one's home ice. So Arizona went in at about a plus 200 last year and beat Buffalo at Buffalo. Buffalo turned around and returned the favor when they were down in the desert. So there's just something about these two teams when they play each other on the road. So at plus 110, not crazy good plus odds for us, but I really like the idea of Arizona going in and winning on the road tonight. Take the Yotes, plus 110, and that's universal. Found that at DK, found it at Caesars, found it at BetMGM, ESPN. Everybody's got them at plus 110.
Yeah, Howl at the Moon with the Arizona Coyotes. Let's go to the Monday night double feature, shall we? I like Jaden Reed for anytime touchdown in that matchup there at the Meadowlands at plus 195. Best odds of business right now at FanDuel Sportsbook. By comparison, MGM also has this, and they're the worst odds of the biz at plus 105. So you got a 90-cent difference between those two books. So obviously elevate it and grab it there at FanDuel. The reason being is simple. Christian Watson, he's gone. He's out. He's not going to be in uniform in this game, which means you're going to see an increase in team target share for Jaden Reed. He's averaging just 5.3 targets per game, but he has the 14th most total red zone targets of any wide receiver in the NFL. That's 13 in exact number, respectable number 36 ranking, and route win percentage. Sees a lot of action out of the slot, 68.8% of his snaps to be exact. So you look at the Giants, they've done a decent job in coverage out of the slot, giving up an 89.7 passer rating, but the G-Men, a middling number 15 in pass CPA defense, have allowed 11 wide receiver touchdowns. And Reed, he's dialing up the heat, baby. He has scored a touchdown in 2 of his last 4, and we know how sizzling, how hot Jordan Love has been. So inside the red zone, likely got to look Reed's way in that underneath coverage, and hopefully he's got to break loose and splash 6. With those bets on the board, let's get after it with another edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
All right, numero 5, and this one only available at BetMGM. They got some unique offerings there in their signature bets, and this is one of them under the rushing props. Give me Devon Achane to run for more yards in the C-hole, smash hole. The football Frankenstein there, Derrick Henry, minus 110 juice. available at BetMGM. You might think I'm stone cold crazy to go with Achane, who really is kind of the second fiddle to Raheem Mostert in this dual shared backfield of the Miami Dolphins. But I don't think Henry is going to get a lot of opportunities, or at least normal opportunities in this game. He's running behind a rickety offensive line. Miami's actually been pretty stout defensively, number 6 in EPA per play defense overall. So knowing the game script could go sideways for the Tennessee Titans, I think Achane, a guy who last week went over 70 yards on the ground, had 17 touches on the ground as well. He is numero uno in yards after contact per attempt among qualifying running backs at 6.04. He has forced a missed tackle 32.1% of the time. That is top 5 in the NFL. I mentioned the 17 for 73 last week. He played over 60% of the snaps. Could be a similar volume for a guy that's got bottle rockets strapped to his cleats. And I know Tennessee is number 12 in rush EPA defense. I know Tennessee over the last 5 weeks has given up just 3.36 yards per carry. But they've also given up 86.8 rushing yards per game to the running back position. So positive game strip, fingers crossed that pans out. Achane, I believe, will outdistance Derrick Henry in rush yards, and grab that at BetMGM at -110. Lundy, fair to follow.
It's a unique one to be able to go after. I like Achane when it comes to his rush and his receiving combined, by the way.
Yeah.
You can go find that number, mid-70s, I think is what I saw it at when I was looking last night, for those two combined. But I think Henry finishes under 60. That's basically, that's all I can tell you. I think he finishes under 60. Can Achane be able to get to 60? I don't know, Jim. So I'm going to roll with you. I'm going to roll with you because this is a unique bet. I like the fact that you went a little bit off the board to start things off at number 5. But I'm telling you, as much as you call him the Frankenstein, when he gets in the clear, bye. I mean, he's not, I know he's not Tyreek, but Henry is sneaky quick, man. Once he gets out there in the open, those legs start churning and he gets moving pretty quickly. It's not like Tom Brady running through molasses. You know what I mean? So if Henry gets out and in the clear, your bet is going to be screwed. You got to hope that they keep him bottled up, keep him under that 60 number that I was talking about, and then Achane's going to cash.
Yeah, roll with the rookie Achane. I think best Derrick Henry on the ground.
Number 4.
Numero cuatro. Oops, I did it again. I'm betting on the Spears. I think I featured him earlier this season in this exact category. It's been a while since I've gone back to the well, but I'm thirsty, and we're going to drink from that well. Tyjae Spears of the Tennessee Titans. Give me the over 2.5 receptions, plus 115 at BetMGM. No, scratch that. Best odds I found on this at ESPN Bet at plus 125. It's plus money really across the board, but ESPN Bet actually has the best odds. I logged that right before tape time. I look at Spears. He's running routes 48% of the time this season. He's got an impressive 13.6% team target percentage. That's high for running back. In fact, the 9th highest among qualifying running backs. He's caught over 71% of the dump-off attempts, whether from Will Levis or earlier this season or Ryan Tannehill. He's averaging 14.0 routes per game, and he has grabbed at least 3 balls in 4 of his last 6 contests. Again, I feel the game is going to flow negatively for the Tennessee Titans, which means Spears could see ample opportunity in the 3rd and 4th quarter in an attempt to try to play catch-up because he's got a lot of juice. He's a more reliable receiver, in my mind, than Derrick Henry is. 13 running backs have grabbed at least 3 passes against Miami this season, and they're giving up 5.7 receptions per game to the position. So somewhat allergic to defending the short field. So some of those backs that are leaking out in coverage. So hopefully Will Levis is going to dump off to the rookie, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I cash in, whether at BetMGM at plus 115 or ESPN Bet at plus 125. Lundy, fair to follow.
I'll take it because I believe in what you're describing from the game script standpoint. I think there's going to be some targets there. Now, you got to get the stick 'em. Got to grab the damn ball. Don't be dropping shit. Because I do think the targets are going to be there. So you put that together with the game script, taking the over at plus odds. This guy right here, Brad, I really hope you don't get hooked. I'm just telling you, I'm really hoping you don't get hooked.
Yeah, Captain Hook, yar! Shiver me timbers! Get away, bro! Get away!
Number 3.
Numero Trace here on the Fade 5 countdown. Let's get a little two-leg action and hopefully arouse my third leg on this little parlay play. I need, hey, it's me, baby. It's Tommy DeVito. They call me Tommy Cutlets. I probably got a lot of those during the bye week. But anyway, Tommy DeVito, 1 or more passing touchdowns. I'm going to slap that together. Will Levis, 1 or more passing touchdowns. You put those two together at ESPN Bet. Cool, plus 120. DeVito's actually done this, and every single game he's been under center as a starter. He's been shocking pretty good, really, for this franchise, and maybe has some second guessing. Why did we pay Daniel Jones Brewster's millions last offseason? It does raise that question because DeVito has been more than serviceable, to say the least. He's completing close to 63% of his attempts. You look at Green Bay, middle of the pack in pass EPA defense, but they have allowed at least 1 passing touchdown in 10 of 12 games this year. So, hey, it's me. I'm going to throw it TD, baby. Tommy DeVito, I think, strikes 1 in the end zone, 4-6. And then Will Levis, I know he's a bit of a roller coaster ride, but we know the arm talent is spectacular. And as we are both fearlessly forecasting, it's not really fearless by any stretch of the imagination, based on the 14-point spread at most books, Tennessee is going to be in catch-up mode really this entire game. So playing with a deficit, Will Levis could be coming in garbage time, so you might have to wait this sucker out. I think he spins a spiral, or maybe to Chigakonkwo, maybe to DeAndre Hopkins, maybe to a guy, Tajay Spears, who grabs one and takes it in and crosses a chunk. I don't care how he gets there against the Fins. I just need 1 end zone strike. So Tommy DeVito, 1 or more passing touchdowns. Will Levis, 1 or more passing touchdowns on this rookie QB special, plus 120 at ESPN Bet. Lundy, fair to follow.
Did anybody else hear Brad go from DeVito to Dick Vitale in the middle of that?
And the Dolphins, baby!
Yeah, that did anybody? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't, because people out there right now that are listening or watching are nodding their head. Like, yeah, he somehow went from like a really, really awful New York accent to Dick Vitale. Like, I don't know how he got in there.
It's weird.
I mean, Brad, I know that it was Jimmy V week. I understand that was very much on your mind in the college basketball world, but we really gotta get you some voice lessons or something.
Yeah, I need help.
So I am following on this. The short version is I'm following on this. However, Brad, I've got a really fun way to put all of the quarterbacks together in a parlay plus a whatever you want to call it, SGPX. Every site calls it different. I've got a fun one for you that if you use your boost over at BetMGM has a sexy freaking payday. I'll tell you about that in bonus time.
Dipsy-doo, Dunkaroo, I'm betting on Tommy DeVito, baby!
Number 2.
All right, numero dos here on the Fade 5. Let's go to an SGP. Let's get some more plus money on the board. I also constructed this at ESPN Bet. Let's go with Tua Tagovailoa, 2+ rush attempts. Yeah, you probably didn't see that coming. I'm going to pair that with Tyreek Hill, 6 or more receptions, and Jalen Waddle, 4 or more receptions, and you get that at plus 142 at ESPN Bet. Now, Tua has logged a pair of rush attempts. And remember, kneel downs do count. Now, we got screwed earlier this season because Mike White came off the bench and got the kneel down late in a game. I had the over at 2.5. I missed the over as a result of that because he finished with 2, but maybe he gets it early. Who knows? I know Tennessee is not really up there in pocket pressure rate number 23, actually, in the National Football League, but they are giving up 4.1 rush attempts per game at the quarterback position. A dozen QBs have gone for 2 more rush attempts against them this season, and Tua has done this in 8 of 12 games. Meanwhile, Tyreek Hill, I know he's dealing with a tender wheel, that ankle setback, but is good to go, and he should take off in this game, as he always does. Maybe him and Christian McCaffrey, the true MVPs in the National Football League, by the way, argue amongst your friends. Tennessee, number 30 in pass EPA defense. A dozen guys have hauled in at least 6 passes against them this season. Entering the week, they were like number 2 in total receptions, even with the games played yesterday being baked in. So they're a game shy. They're number 6 are the Titans in most receptions allowed. So Tyreek, who's number 1 in target percentage, seeing 10.6 per game. He's done this 9 times. Make it 10. I think he grabs at least 6 balls. And then Jalen Waddle should go off in this game. 4 more catches. You might hear his name a little bit later on in the podcast. Why? You got a very thin secondary of the Tennessee Titans. Fulton's out. Trey Avery is in. Second-year guy out of Rutgers, who's only played 90 snaps this season. When he's been on the field, burned like a creme brulee. 138.5 passer rating allowed, and 4 touchdowns he's given up as well. So anytime touchdown, Jalen Waddle, I don't hate that. But Waddle, 7.5 targets per game, number 2 in route win percentage, and he has grabbed at least 4 passes in 10 of 12. So to recap on this SGP, Tua, 2 more rush attempts, Tyreek, 6 or more receptions, and Waddle, 4 or more catches, plus 142 at ESPN Bet. Lundy, what screws it up for me? Fade or follow?
Tua screws it up for you.
I know. I knew I was going to put it, because if I went Tyreek and I went Waddle by itself, it's like minus 150 or something like that. So I'm like, okay, what oddball wager got to put in here to get it significant plus odds? It's that. Yes, I'm already sweating thinking about it.
Yeah, because he didn't have a single rush attempt against the Commanders last week.
Right.
And so you're looking at a nice goose egg right there. Now, he's done it in the home contest. He's done it in all but 2 games at home. One of those was the 70 burger that they put on the Broncos, so I'm not counting that one because he had no reason to have a rush attempt in that one. And then there was another game, I can't remember which, one of the other home games where he only had 1. So he is willing to take off and run there in South Beach. But of the Tyreek, fine. What's his over-under, like 106 yards? I don't know.
Insane. Yeah, it's way up there.
Play him on an escalator, folks. Pump that thing all the way up to 150 and play it at plus odds, because he might go for 2 bills against Tennessee. The catches will be there for Waddle. I'm not convinced the yards are going to be there for Waddle. If you look at what he's done, basically, he's sitting at 66.5, but I think that number opened at 70. And it has come plummeting down because he's not getting to that 70 mark. Could he do it against his secondary? Maybe with the yardage, but I think this is a lot smarter way to play Waddle, is to go with the receptions instead of the yards, because his yards total has been suppressed even when he's getting 4 or 5 catches, because he's averaging right in that like 12 to 14 yards per catch range. Get 4 catches, you're staying down below that 70 number. That's why that prop dropped so quickly after it opened earlier last week. So this is, I think, a smarter way to be able to play it. But I'm looking right there. I see double T, Tua Tagovailoa. He may be the leg that screws you up, Brad.
Tush push, kneel downs, run. I don't care how. I just need 2 attempts. Please, Tua, please.
Number 1.
All right, numero uno here on the Fade 5 Monday Night Football 2-legger action. My numero uno play is love to love it, baby. Jordan Love, give me the over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I cannot believe this is plus money, but it is. We've seen some waffling in the juice. I opened at plus money. It was a minus money in all the books yesterday. Back to plus money at some of the books here at Tape Time of the Fade 5 podcast. No matter what you grab it at, I like the over here 1.5 passing TDs. I grabbed it at DraftKings at plus 114. Folks, nobody you could argue is really hotter, maybe outside of like Brock Purdy, than Jordan Love. Jordan Love has done this in 4 consecutive games. His red zone completion percentage, respectable, QB 16 in that category, but he is way up there. He is top 3 in the NFL in total red zone pass attempts, interestingly enough. Hasn't been terribly efficient except here of late. The Giants, we know that they're middle of the pack in terms of pass EPA defenses. I've already outlined number 15 in that category. They've given up 14 passing touchdowns in total. 4 signal callers have thrown at least 2 in a solo game. So Jordan Love, all I need is for Green Bay to march down the field, get inside the red zone. Please find my guy, Jaden Reed, And maybe that's the second TD that you need. And we double cash, baby. Read anytime touchdown. Love all the over 1.5 passing touchdowns. We correlate, we synergize, and we bring it all together and count our winnings in the end. Lundy, my number one play on this Monday. Does it hit? Jordan Love over 1.5 passing touchdowns plus 114 at DraftKings. Good sir. Fade or follow?
I think I'm going to fade you. I'm going to fade you on this one. Because I like the way I'm going to play it better.
Really? I know what you're doing.
I like how I'm going to play it a little bit better. In part because the Giants have given up 3 rushing touchdowns to quarterbacks. You could get hosed by the fact that he takes one in with his legs instead. So we do know that some of the books offer that option of total touchdowns where it's combined passing and rushing. That's probably a smarter way to be able to do this one, because I could see him call his own number, especially if they get down there tight, something inside the 5-yard line or so, and he just says, all right, screw it. I'm just going to wheel it out to the outside and take it myself. I got to fade you on this one, my man. I'm a little concerned that he's going to get you 1 through the air, but not 2.
All right, Lundy is eternally damn my number one selection, so he's got to make it up to me. It's bonus time, Lundy. Whether on Monday Night Football, whether in the NHL, the NBA, or a light and thin college basketball slate, what do you have for me?
Well, first of all, I'm staying away from college basketball. You know that I just let you.
Oh, I will not.
I know you'll find something to be able to do. I don't know. There's a game this morning, like Texas A&M Commerce whatever is taking on Northern Colorado. I don't know. Take Texas A&M Commerce. I mean, I'm making this up. I have no idea. I don't know anything about either of those teams. And Northern Colorado is like an hour and 15 minutes from me, and I don't know.
Nothing good comes out of Greeley except Dalton Connect, who's tearing it up right now at Tennessee.
Yeah, it smells like a cow's ass is what I'm sorry, but you can always tell when which direction the jet stream is going here in Denver, because if you're smelling cows, it's from up there. Now, I also understand that for our farmer and rancher friends, that is the smell of money. So I understand why it matters. There is some college basketball. I'm going to leave that one to you. Here's the SGP Plus that I was talking about. And this one, Brad, checks in without the boost at a plus 248. However, BetMGM offered up a nice little 50% boost for tonight. And that takes this to plus 372.
Oh, feed me. What is it? Enough of the drama.
Tua, 2 or more passing touchdowns.
Yep.
Then I just need 1 apiece out of Levis, DeVito, and Love.
Yep.
Plus 372 with the boost. 2 for Tua, 1 each for the other 3 starting quarterbacks. That SGP Plus, again, without the boost, 248. With the boost, 372. I really, really like that one. Over in the NBA, Toronto and the Knicks will be at the world's most famous arena this evening. I'm going to play the over on the total at 221. It's just a flat 221. You could adjust it a little bit. You could bring it down on an alt total and pair it up with something else if you want to. Despite the fact that if you look at the overall NBA rankings, you would think you are going to wind up seeing some defense maybe out of the Knicks, because if you look at points allowed over the course of the season, they're like 3rd or 4th in the league in terms. But if you look at like the last 2 weeks, if you look over the course of the last few games, that defensive rating has come way down. They are not playing good defense right now. So I'm taking away the overall season total and looking just at what's been happening for them over the course of the last couple of weeks. And the Knicks have not been playing that solid defense, and neither has Toronto. So I think this total is too low at 221.5. I think they're going to creep into the upper 220s. So I'll play that one. Standard juice minus 110 over at DraftKings. I told you that I like the Arizona Coyotes on the money line on the road. Take that at plus odds. That was our plus bus ride. I will do a 2-leg money line for this evening. Give me Colorado at home, taking on the Calgary Flames. The Flames are without their starting goaltender. And so even though the Avs are in a funk right now, I'm expecting them to be able to break out when you're taking on a backup goaltender like they will be against the Flames. So give me the Avs on the money line, and then give me Dallas on the money line at home against the Red Wings. Frankly, I like Dallas to do this in regulation if you wanted to bring the juice down. But just to be safe, in case the Red Wings can force this one to go into the extra frame, Dallas money line, Colorado money line, that is a plus 136 over at ESPN Bet. If you don't have the 4-letter bet available to you, it's plus 133 over at DraftKings, so you can jump on that one. But a pretty light slate on the ice, a light slate, as Brad said, in college basketball. So with all of that in mind, I'll post a couple more on the spreadsheet later, but I yield the floor to the gentleman from Illinois.
All right, let's go to the Team Huevos parlay play of Monday night and on this SGP. And I'm going to stick in the Miami game. Give me the Fins on the money line. Give me Tyreek Hill for an anytime touchdown. Give me two others. Those touchdowns, again, 2 or more passing. And Will Levis, 30 or more pass attempts. You slap all those together at ESPN Bet. Oh, pretty handsome. Plus 209. Yes, I believe Miami's going to win this game straight up. There's far and away far better, really, than any AFC team right now. The EPA data, number 2 at EPA per play offense, number 6 at EPA per play defense. They should win going away against a secondary, again, that's missing a lot of starting bodies. Tyreek Hill, all he does is score touchdowns like Cortland Sutton does for the Denver Broncos. Tyreek, I think, will find the end zone yet again. He has done this so consistently this year. He has scored in 7 of his last 8. He's averaging 10.6 targets per game, getting a lot of Sean Murphy bunting and coverage. He was giving up a 90-plus passer rate into his assignments. So he'll catch one of those TD spirals from Tua Tagovailoa. I think Jalen Waddle is going to get the other one. I kind of like him for anytime touchdown. Get an ESPN Bet. Little double early bonus time on Waddle for anytime touchdown at plus 135. But I think Tua will throw those pair of in-zone strikes. He's number 6 in red zone completion percentage. He's done this 7 times. The Titans have allowed 5 guys to achieve 2 or more passing touchdowns in a game. They're, again, number 30 in pass EPA defense. And then Levis, 30 or more pass attempts. Again, if we feel the script is going to be very negative, which we both feel is going to be that way, for the Tennessee Titans, he's going to have to turn the air early and often. He's averaging 30.8 pass attempts per game. Has been over in 3. He's been under in 3 of those 6 starts this season. Miami giving up 33.3 pass attempts per game to opposing quarterbacks. 6 quarterbacks have gone for at least 30. So to recap on this SGP Team Huevos parlay play, Miami money line, Tyreek Hill anytime touchdown, 2 more passing touchdowns, and Will Levis 30 or more pass attempts, plus 209 there at ESPN Bet. All right, elsewhere. Hey, it's me. You thought I was going to go away, baby? No, I'm back. Tommy DeVito or Dick Vitale. I'm going to take the over 16.5 rush yards on the former ILL, also Syracuse Orange member, but I think he's going to run maybe even for 20 yards in this game. So you want to take this up on escalator odds? I certainly would suggest that. Minus 115 on the over 16.5 standard line. Green Bay is number 11. And then pocket pressure rate at 23.7% in the NFL. 6 guys have done this on the ground at the quarterback position against them, as they're giving up 23.7 yards per game to opposing signal callers. DeVito has done this in 205. He's averaging a healthy 3.5 attempts per game and just 13.8 rush yards per game. But again, it's all about the pressure. And if Green Bay does get a lead, a decent one, I think you're going to see a lot more running of DeVito late in this contest as defenders start to kind of wear down typically, or maybe fall back in zone coverage. So we get some opportunity to see some green space, tucks and runs. So give me Tommy DeVito over 6.5 rush yards. Jaden Reed, I'll also take the over on 39.5 receiving yards. Again, the Giants giving up 89.7 slot rating, not terrible. Out of that slot position, but 20 guys have reached at least 40 receiving yards against him this year. Jaden Reed's got to see that target share increase, as I mentioned before, with Christian Watson out. He's number 36 in route win percentage. He's gone over this 6 times. I think this is like a 7-9 kind of target game for him. I ranked him pretty highly in fantasy this week. I thought he was going to be a top 30 wide receiver. So let's triple down. I say Jaden Reed scores a touchdown, and he hits the over on 39.5 receiving yards. And then one last one, no context needed. This is for pure shits and giggles. Jaden Reed, 3+ catches. Wicks, 2 or more catches for Green Bay. And Tucker Kraft, 2 or more catches. Remember, he's the starting tight end now. You put those 3 together at ESPN Bet, plus 102. All entirely doable for that Packers thrice. You want college basketball? Sure you do. The Zags. Hold on to something because I am laying 39.5 points. That is what the spread is at home against Mississippi Valley State. You might say, why on earth are you got to lay nearly 40 points on the Zags coming off an L to UW? Well, A, they're coming off the L to Washington over the weekend, so they're pissed off. And B, Mississippi Valley State is number 362 out of 362 in KenPom. They are dead last. They are winless for a reason. They're number 362 out of 362 in effective field goal percentage offense. They're number 355. Oh, they're even better, but barely. Defensively, they're giving up 61.7% inside the arc. Yeah, they're a slower team, but they have gotten slaughtered repeatedly this season. Now, interesting. They lost by 46 at LSU. They lost by 39 at Oklahoma. They only lost by 35 against UConn, 34 to TCU. Then they went out west. They lost a 42-pointer to Santa Clara, which is not a very good team this year. And Cal State Northridge beat it by 36. I think the Zags, again, pissed off because they lost, will get right, and they may score a hundo tonight. It may be like 100 to 55, something like that. So I'm going to lay the heavy, insane chalk of 39.5 against Mississippi Valley State. All right. NBA-wise, Jared Allen, I'm taking the under on 10.5 rebounds. The only reason why Orlando is number 1 and fewest rebounds per game allowed at 40.0. I know Mobley is out of this game. I know that Allen went over the last time these two teams faced, but I don't think he gets to 11 again. So give me the under there, minus 135. Now I'm out of breath and out of time here on the Fade 5 podcast. Do us a favor, would you kindly, if you enjoy this broadcast, drop us a rating and a review and give us some thumbs up or middle finger emojis. I don't care. There on YouTube. Also, Fade or follow us on the X, where we're always trying to give it to you. Lundy and his NHL picks, which are spectacular at Nate Lundy.
Oh, no. Last week sucked ass, Brad. Last week was terrible, which means we're due to bounce back. That's all I'm going to say. The law of averages will catch up, but holy shit, were we bad on the ice last week? Oh.
I was really bad midweek in college basketball. I went, I think, 5-1 yesterday. I was still down a couple of units last week, but regardless, we're tracking all of our selections, the good, the bad, the ugly, on the X, at Nate Lundy, at Noisy Huevos, and all those spreadsheet picks. All right, we got to move on. I got television to do for the outstanding and the very winter thirsty Nathaniel Lundy. I'm Brad Evans. Until next time, as always, fade or follow. That is up to you.